Donald Trump really heard about a man and his wife being stabbed to death by their own son, only to have their bodies discovered by their daughter. And his first thought was really like, wasn't that the guy that was hating on me? Sir, you're the president. Derapy. First of all, in case you didn't know, I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, but a man that goes by the name of Reiner, he was a legendary Hollywood director, was a part of a bunch of huge movies that you've probably heard of or seen: The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men. He also, I believe, had like a small acting role in The Wolf of Wall Street. Seemed like a super cool dude. His life, unfortunately, came to a untimely end in a really, really gruesome way just 2 days ago on December 14th. And the only negative things that I've seen about him are the fact that like he hated Trump, but I didn't see anybody saying that until after Trump posted about him. Every single post, every single article or link or clip or story or video that I've seen about this man is that he was a really cool guy. He made really awesome movies, and he's funny and he's sweet and he's passionate about what he's passionate about, and he'll be missed. And he was a family man. He had a wife and kids. But this is how Trump reacted to this man's murder.
A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace.
This is the worst post he's ever made. A man and his wife were killed, and you're talking about the golden age of America and the success of the Trump administration?
Why?
What is wrong with you? This is what I would expect you to say at the end of a post where you're talking about how we successfully killed a terrorist. How does a American citizen, a man and his wife, being killed by their son who struggles with like mental health issues and addiction, how is that a good segue into you talking about like how good of a job you're doing? This has nothing to do with you. Also saying that he passed away with his wife reportedly due to the anger he caused others. So like it's his fault? It's his fault. I guess the idea is that it's a joke. Like my brain can't really wrap itself around the idea that like Trump actually knows how this person died. There's no way that he knows, right? Because if he knew, he wouldn't say that he died from like hating on Trump. Because there's just like nobody. Why is he saying this? It feels like a parody. I've been thinking about how to discuss this and address it, but I keep having to remind myself over and over and over again that it's something that he actually said. I was kind of waiting for him to actually take the opportunity to address how much everybody hates this, because there are people actually on that Truth Social app that are actually pushing back on Trump that were seemingly fans of him. One person said,
"Sir, Mr. President, I love you. I support you 100%.
I do not support that spouse."
Highly inappropriate, and it puts us in their box, tacky and tasteless.
Another says, this is from Rebecca for USA on Truth Social,
"I love you, but this is seriously distasteful."
This from 45 Liberty Lady at Kathy Ann.
"Terrible response to this tragedy, unbecoming of the office of the president. I voted for you 3 times, but this is beyond the pale."
Very bold to admit that. We also got not classy, expect better of you, Mr. President. We have another one that says,
"Oh, sir, please take this down.
Your own people are telling you this is whack." I assume this is going to be one of those extremely rare occasions where there's a little bit of backtracking from either him or the White House or a press secretary, but somebody actually got a mic in front of him and asked him about the pushback that he was getting from his own people, from Red Team. And this man actually, I'm just going to let you listen to it. You won't believe it. You probably will.
President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned.
Why does he keep referring to himself in third person? He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. Hey, come here. Buddy, you're Trump. Also, in the question, she used the word murder. So, like, you know that he was killed. Like, he was violently, like he was killed. How was your first response? Like, well, first of all, it's a tragedy. You would hate for that to happen to any American citizen. It's just, you know, but nah, I guess we're not getting any of that. But let me not take him fully out of context, you know?
As far as Trump is concerned, he said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. So he became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country, yeah.
So right after that, he takes a different question, and they just don't talk about it again. And it's like, did you hear the part where he died, though? Trump really said, I was not a fan of him, and he was bad for the country. He just doesn't acknowledge the fact that, like, a man was killed. He didn't even acknowledge the fact that, like, his own people are calling him out. He didn't acknowledge any of that. He was just like, that guy sucked. So, but, like, what did his wife do? Like, what did the daughter do? I want to say I don't expect anything nice from Trump at this point anymore. But I guess now, not only should we not expect anything nice, we should just expect cruelty and taunting, even if it involves, like, the end of one's time on Earth. When Blue Team was telling, like, service members that they don't have to obey, like, unlawful orders, and Trump came out and was like, hey, that could be punishable by... It's like, I thought that was a horrible thing to say, but it was still kind of like a in theory thing. Like, now we see how he reacts when somebody actually dies, and he doesn't care. Not only does he not care, he's kind of like good riddance in a way. Some people are trying to defend this, like a very small amount of people, and they're like, people are acting as if he's celebrating. They literally told him that this man was murdered, and he said he was bad for the country. Is that not like in the same neighborhood of like good riddance? Like what? I will not be gaslit about this. This is awful and odd, and I would like for him to not be president anymore. I didn't ask for this. Even his own people are at the point where they're like, this is too much. Why are you saying these things? Not very Christ-like. Doesn't matter. What do we do about this? Is there anything that we can do? Like, I see a lot of people here like talking about how this situation reminds them of the Charlie Kirk situation, how people treated that. And the thing is, I don't really care how most people reacted to that. My take was it's a terrible way to go and it's tragic, but who am I? You know, I'm not the president. I do think it's fascinating how many people lost their job for saying the wrong thing about that situation, but the person who should be held to the highest standard just, you know, there just seems to be no consequences. The lack of consequences is what upsets me. I expect a lack of nuance and compassion from random people online, but I guess we're just at a point where we shouldn't expect any compassion from the leader of the free world, and I just don't like it. I'm trying to drive home the point that it's not normal. This, by the way, was Rob Reiner's reaction to the untimely killing of Charlie Kirk. For comparison, a guy who had completely opposing political views.
Well, horror, absolute horror, and I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution.
And this is like a normal human reaction that you would expect from pretty much anybody that became aware of somebody's life being taken in such a violent manner. But instead, when this guy, Mr. Rob Reiner, leaves us, we get the Big Orange saying it was the crippling disease of Trump derangement syndrome instead of something actually tragic. And I just think that is gross, and I don't think that we should just continue looking at it as, oh, you know, that's just Trump being Trump. This is not normal. And I just want it to be documented somewhere because otherwise people might act like this never even happened. But this is just another example of the worst guy ever being the worst guy ever. I know that this is just another piece of content floating around on the internet saying that the orange reeks, but take this away from this episode if you can. If you voted for this dude and you're outside, publicly saying that this is wrong or it's unacceptable. I just wanted to thank you. Admitting that is big, and I'm not over here trying to shame anybody no matter how late they come to this conclusion. I'm not out here recruiting for Blue Team. I would just like us all to be generally more decent humans if that's possible. Like, death is tragic, especially in this manner, and it's just a damn shame that a lot of us live in a country where our quote-unquote leader would take something that's already awful and somehow make it even worse. But it does give me a little bit of hope seeing some people come around, even if it feels late. We're still 1 year into this thing, unfortunately. This second presidency of Trump's, and it's gonna be a long one. I can't stop staring at this post, honestly. Like, this is why I gotta yap about it and just get this out of my system. The first line of Trump's post was, "A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood." The last line was, "May Rob and Michelle rest in peace." That's literally all that he had to say, if he even had to say anything, which he just didn't. Like, literally all but the first and last line of that post is just being cruel for the sake of being cruel. Just the ramblings of an aging, disturbed, wicked fellow. Real life villain. But do yourself a favor. Try not to engage in any back and forth about the integrity of this man online. That book has been closed for a minute now. Instead, check out one of the many wonderful movies that Rob made. I'm probably going to hit up The Wolf of Wall Street again this week. His character is Jordan Belfort's dad. I think he goes by like Mad Max in that movie. Crazy, hilarious clip between him and Jonah Hill yelling back and forth at each other. Really, really good stuff. That's the stuff that we should be talking about, this man's legacy, instead of allowing a freak to try and hijack it to make it something gross. If you're a religious person, say a prayer for the surviving family and check in with your own if you can. Love you. Mean it. Spread the bread. Enjoy the outro.
Porterhouse from Argentina. Expensive champagne, the wine. We had to buy champagne, and you ordered all the fucking sides. Tell them about the sides.
I
you
ordered
ordered.
the sides. So
Sides?
Yeah.
Sides? $26,000 worth of sides? What are these sides? They cure cancer?
The sides did cure cancer. That's the problem. They were there. That's why they were expensive.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious. I know.
Stop.
And EJ Entertainment. What the fuck is EJ Entertainment?
Well, that's
Yeah, George. What's
how
EJ
do I
Entertainment?
describe this?
George, what is that?
It's a fucking prostitution ring, Jordy.
I know.
That's what it is.
That is what it is.
Isn't that the perfect description for it?
That is what it is. But none of these were charged to me. This is all of them.
Oh,
and
that
I had
was
nothing
all
to do
us.
with it. It wasn't me though. Fucking explain this shit to him.
Well, I
These are
thought-
all your fucking charges right here.
You guys, the IRS, they allow for TNA. It's fine.
T&E. T&E.
Yeah, I said TNA.
No, you said TNA.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
When
Yeah,
did
you
I
did.
say
You
that?
said TNA. It's TNE, all
I
right?
know you're upset about the dinner, and that makes sense because we did spend too much money. But I said TNA.
Don't tell me what you said. I heard what you said.
Dad, he said TNA.
He did.
Said,
He said
yeah,
TNA.
absolutely no question. I heard